So welcome back to Sound Bites, the show about good people doing good things in the local food and drink industry. And one of those people is Joshua Council. He's the co-founder of Good Robot Brewing here in Halifax. And actually, this is an opportunity to talk about a lot of things because Good Robot's doing a lot, right, Josh?
Yeah.
So one of the most that is the nervous laughter of an entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the newest and most exciting things is your beer launch at the LCBO. So
100%.
Tell us a bit about the ethos behind the brand and how that came to be.
Yeah, so Thembot was conceived by an employee of Good Robot and a member of the queer community. And they basically wanted to create a product that gently reminded folks to be respectful of folks' pronouns. And so it was conceived by the queer community, designed by the queer community, brewed by members of the queer community. And that was maybe a year or two ago. And last year it took home a silver at the Canada Beer Cup, which was pretty cool. So that got launched in LCBO a few weeks ago. And I was able to do kind of a pilgrimage to Mecca, if you will, the old household where I met my co-founders, Angus and Doug, in Kingston, Ontario, and go to the very LCBO that we used to go to in college and buy Keats and Lucky and Laker and all that good stuff, and buy a can of Good Robot off the shelf, and maybe or maybe not enjoy it on the property of my old house where we lived.
So Josh, working with the queer community isn't exactly something new for you. Tell me a bit about the long-standing relationship you've had there.
Sure. So that started in 2015 from the day we opened our taproom doors. We were one of the few bars and breweries that had gender-neutral washrooms at the time. And we just sort of organically attracted a lot of queer customers and frankly just customers who like to have a stall to themselves, whatever they do in there. So we gained kind of a large queer following from the beginning, and we started working with two of our most prominent customers to support Out East, which was a queer film festival in Atlantic Canada. And then from there it was Pride sponsorship and so on and so forth. So before you knew it, we were kind of the unofficial official queer brewery of Nova Scotia, simply from patronage. And that evolved into a large customer base as well as employeeship.
Amazing. And I have to say that, the times I go into the brewery, or the original, the Robie Street location, it's a really welcoming, comfortable location. So, I assume part of that design of the bar was that to be welcoming. It has a very non-pretentious, open kind of feeling. I hope I'm right in the way I interpret it.
100%, yeah. From the get-go, from the university days when me and the co-founders lived together studying engineering, we were a house of misfits, one friend referred to us as, but we were basically uncomfortable in the university social scene and didn't really fit in some ways. So we had a real ragtag bunch, kind of like a nerdy animal house going on in our neighborhood, and very much a come as you are mentality that we, 14 years or 7 years or whatever later translated to the ethos of the taproom. So camaraderie for all has sort of been at the heart of it from the get-go.
Yeah, and I can attest, the first time I interviewed Josh was, I think, about 14 years ago, in the frat house style apartment above the brewery, which was exactly how you describe it. So you created the Good Robot, and obviously expanded out of Robie Street in terms of brewing production. So now you have a location in Elmsdale.
We do, yeah.
And you're doing exciting stuff there too. What's going on there?
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting, if you go into the original tap room on Robie Street, you'll see "I don't want to grow up" painted on the wall, which was something one of us haphazardly said in a media interview in like 2015. And we went from kind of "I don't want to grow up" to growing up, which has been an interesting journey. So we went from a little garage brewing operation with a lot of slop, it was a lot of fun, but it was chaos, to leaning more into the robot of Good Robot. Really getting some world-class equipment, stuff that doesn't exist in Canada. Massive efficiencies, massive eco-savings, and 40% water reduction with certain pieces of equipment, and the ability to pasteurize as well, which is a unique feature in our space.
Amazing. And you're building your community. So you have your Robie Street location, you have an Elmsdale brewery and a little beer garden there. and you just launched another one on the Halifax Commons, right?
Yeah, we're psychopaths.
Yeah, so, or entrepreneurs, one of the two. So tell us a little bit about the Commons space.
Sure. So that was something that fell into our laps last summer. Now, it wasn't any kind of plan in place to say, we want this location. It just opened up, and being recovering engineers, we couldn't resist an opportunity to build another beaver dam. Angus snuck in there, checked it out, said this location's amazing. It kind of bridges between North End and downtown, so there's somewhat of a symbolism of kind of where the company's going. And also, I spent a lot of time on the Commons, and there's just not really an outdoor beer garden or patio in that area.
Yeah, I dare say you're probably going to have some softball players coming over in the heat of the summer. So you guys are constantly evolving. Is there anything coming up that we should know about, or are you kind of at that point of please no?
Yeah. I think we're we got our arm behind our back and we're saying uncle a little bit right now, but we are getting in. We got approval for ANBL, so New Brunswick listing with Thembot as well, the award-winning sour beer, which is exciting. We're distributing across Canada and growing there as well. So in terms of new things in the coffer, I think we're all going to take a breath, get things under control, and make sure everyone's got their heads on straight before we tackle another big project.
Okay, so those watching, there's definitely quite a few listens at the NSLC. You got AMBL, LCBO, all 6 or 7 prawns. You can buy online, and probably can you buy at the tap?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. And I always remind people that if you can, go to the location to buy. It helps entrepreneurs like yourselves because of higher margins by selling yourself. So.
Yeah, sure. Buy it wherever it's good for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway,
whether it's the LC or online, doesn't matter.
Amazing what you're doing. Thank you very much for coming in, and thanks for being a great part of the local food and drink community.
Oh, we'll see you at the beer garden.